Joining us right now is Dennis Tazier, who leads communications for the Allied Pilots Association, which represents 15,000 professional pilots who fly for American Airlines. Dennis, by the way, is also a pilot himself. And Dennis, this was weird. They had to cancel 28% of their schedule over the weekend. This is Southwest. Other airlines didn't see anything like this. I think AMR only had something like 2% of cancellations, and Spirit, maybe 4% of its flights were canceled. What do you think happened here?
Well, it's not that uncommon. Unfortunately, we've seen management teams unable to connect their pilots with the airplane. So through this recovery, we at American have experienced all through the summer. We're concerned about the holiday season coming up. For all the same reasons of the summer, we're seeing that same crush on the amount of pilots that are able to connect to the airplane. So Southwest admitted that they blamed everything except their management skills, and the pilots acknowledge that. We're experiencing the same things here at American. We didn't have as many. Obviously, a cloud was over Southwest, but of the cancellations we had, half of them were due to the inability for management to connect pilots to the airplane. We've got to get this fixed, and we've got to do it before the holiday season. And that's what we're trying to do at American through our union efforts.
Dennis, over the weekend, American only had 2% of its flights canceled, so 1% of their flights canceled because of not being able to get pilots to the right place. For American, they canceled 28% of their flights. I mean, that's a really big, big difference. You think this is entirely just management's fault, that they didn't plan properly?
Yeah, and you cited 28% American and Southwest. So
I'm sorry, 28% Southwest, 2% for American.
No worries. We try to go for zero, and certainly any of them, we don't want them to be because they couldn't connect the pilots to the airplane. So no, clearly Southwest is an outlier in this, and we represent the pilots of American. But what the swap of pilots are talking about, we've experienced at American Airlines over this weekend. The cloud was over Southwest operations. I know the pilots over there. They want their airline to operate reliably because they're missing time at home as well. Same with the pilots at American. So it's a convergence of failures, and it's not because the pilots aren't trying to get the job done.
What about this timing just with the vaccination mandate push? I mean, United has taken this the most seriously and has said that you're going to be gotten rid of if you don't comply with the vaccine mandate. How big of an issue is it for your pilots union? And then for Southwest, too, they say that they're unhappy with this because the company didn't negotiate with the union before putting this mandate on.
Well, and that's where the devil's in the details. I personally have chosen the vaccine back in March. But we have, of the 14,000 pilots we have 4,000 pilots have yet to make that choice. This seems to be a bit arbitrary. It's if you're a federal contractor, we're not making a statement on the vaccine. But even Leslie Joseph, CNBC reporter, broke the story that the regional affiliates, which fly sometimes over half of the schedule for American, Delta, United, who is frequently talked about being, near 100% vaccinated. When you buy a ticket on those airplanes, you may find yourself on a carrier that isn't mandated. So that is to point out just how inconsistent this is. Now, the ironic thing is the aircraft is safe. It's safe to be on. So what we've tried to do at APA is propose an alternative means of compliance. If you have natural immunity and or frequent testing, just like any airline who's not a federal contractor can comply with, or your train operators or bus transportation. So we're trying to find a solution. And what's really important is this is all going to crush right on the important holiday travel season. At American, on the 24th of November, the day before Thanksgiving, the busiest day of travel for us and revenue generation, they're going to say, hey, you're fired. So it seems like a rush to comply. We're hopeful that we can get either an extension or these alternative means, but it's inconsistent and it's not supporting the recovery that we all fought for.